Welcome back to Let's Read Judge Dredd, and today's episode is I wanted to write a book, but I actually work for a comic. Part 1, maybe. Oh, sorry. What I Did During Necropolis by P.J. Maybe, aged 15 and a half. Part 1. Right. Let's go. So we've got more of P.J. Maybe's terrible drawings. We've got phobia and nausea. Everything's misspelled. For 15 and a half, P.J. is pretty crap at drawing and writing. Okay, let's get into these huge, dense paragraphs. Oh man, these aren't even spelled right. I guess for most folks, Necropolis was not a good time. What with Judge Death and them killing everybody, life left, right, and center, millions dying and stuff. But for some, it was a positive godsend. Take me, for instance. I mean, there I was locked up in the psycho cubes and looking at the rest of my life in a rubber room, lest they decide to burn out half my brain out. Which I'm pretty sure they were fixing to do anyway, just to be nasty. And all because I murdered 14 people, which I think is a bit harsh considering I was young at the time and it was the first offense. And I've got a psychopathic personality, so I couldn't help it anyway. The most they ought to give me was juve rehab or something, but you can't reason with the judges. You kind of get off the, you kind of get cut off in the secure unit. So the first time I knew anything about Necropolis was when Louis Dewey, the Mad Axeman from the next cube, chops through my door. And we have a picture of that, I guess, from PJ. Gonna chop your head off, Juvie! I wouldn't try it if I were you, Louis. I'm armed with a buzzsaw. What? A buzzsaw? You ain't got no buzzsaw. Oh yeah, it's an invisible buzzsaw. Listen. Bzzz. You're doing that. Can't be me. See, my lips don't move. Bzzz. Oh, geez, you're right. Bzzz. No, keep back from me with that thing. There was always ways of getting around most folks, even crazy ones, especially crazy ones. It's just a matter of how you approach them. Keys. It didn't take long to figure out what was going on. Most of the staff had run home to be with their families when phobia and nausea came to kill them. And there was only old matron and a couple of staff robots to watch everybody. So I set a couple of fires to add to the confusion and just walked out the front door. We must have been pretty close to the action, because I could see old Fabby and Nausea up there screaming like banshees, saying how they was gonna give everybody hell. They were sure making the judges look sick. Maybe it was just a psychotic hallucination, but it seemed to me phobia caught sight of me and smiled. Real evil. Like, reached out her great ghastly claw and patted my head. Good boy. I guess she must have sensed that deep down I'm almost as rotten as that, and twisted as she is. It's nice to know somebody appreciates you. Control, I'm outside Oxter House on Hillcrest. Anybody checked on the place since Necropolis?
Negative. Last information is Resident 1, Diego Hudson, 38, multi-billionaire, inventor of Universal 24-hour crotch, and Oxtelena owns the Universal Law Pit chain. Also, resident wife, Dimba, 37, and son, Junior, 14. None of the names appear on any list, any survival list.
And the sign on the gate says, warning, these premises protected by Lethal Force Security, Inc. I'm getting no answer on the intercom. I'm going to take a look. Got a croaked on the electric wire. Better send a unit for him. House security systems still seem powered. Contact Lethal Force and tell them to trip the master switch.
No can do. Lethal Force no longer operating.
That's handy. Halt, you have entered these premises illegally. Leave at once or you will be terminated. This could be tricky. I'll keep you informed. I stole a car and headed for home. It wasn't any trouble to override the computer. I'm pretty smart at stuff like that. I just can't spell or write with this shit. The shrinks told me I've got some fantastic IQ that's so high even I couldn't count it, except that I'm not very good at some things like spelling and being nice to people. Yeah, no shit. Mom, Dad, it's me, PJ. My folks own Emphatically Yes, the big trouser company. They only got control because I meted all our relations, but the judges said it wasn't their fault. I was a psychotic killer and they could keep it, which was pretty decent of them. You have to admit, we're stinking rich, which is the best way to be. Oh, hey, PJ. Darling, it's PJ. PJ, I'd hope to see you one last time. It's all over for us, PJ. Those creatures, phobia, nausea, they're killing everyone. The judges are being massacred. We'll be next. There's no hope for anyone. Ah, come on. There's always hope. She's dead. Yes. It's our 007 pant. It's a specialty line. Soak them with water and they exude lethal poisons into the skin. Death takes about 5 minutes. We're both wearing them. Quite pleasant, tingly sensation. There's a pair here for you if you like. Dunk. Being a psychotic personality, I didn't much care who dies as long as it's not me. But in a funny kind of way, I was sorry to see them go. Still, I didn't have time to brood on things. I kind of figured on Mom and Dad to help me get out of the city and set up somewhere under a false identity. This was an unexpected hiccup in my plans. Fortunately, then the phone rang. It was Mom's pal, Miss Urchison. And my neatest, weirdest scheme ever sprang practically full-blown into my head. And again, no end card. Well, thanks for watching. That's the end of this episode. Next episode, find out what PJ's big plan is, maybe. Until then, thanks for watching.